Hey everybody, how are we? And welcome to an outdoor episode of Bytes. I've strolled down the lovely park near my work and it's a beautiful day, probably 28, 29. Oh, birds are singing, blue sky. Life's pretty good, So I thought I'd come out today and just do a quick podcast audio thing. And today I want to talk about a little experiment I've been doing over the last week and just how easy it is to do. And the experiment was setting up a shop and setting up like a mini business within 3 or 4 hours. So what I've done, and I'm doing this as a kind of exercise for my business. I mean, I do digital marketing, web design, business strategy, digital strategy. So I'm testing my skills out here and using this as a bit of an experiment. And so what I've done is created a shop using Shopify, because we're looking for our e-commerce work. We're looking at moving into Shopify as our main platform because it's just ridiculously user-friendly and the integration that comes in the box is just completely nuts. So, starting a business in 3 or 4 hours. And when I say starting a business, I mean name registration, website, products, social media accounts, email setup. So the first thing I did was just get the business name, sorted that out, and the domain. And I went with, I'm a bit of a retro dude, so I went with selling patterned bum bags. Okay, don't ask me why, but it's always been in the back of my head that these things are going to go nuts. But as I said, this is just an experiment, so I'm going to give this give it a go over the next couple of weeks and just experiment with my advertising, whatever. So sorry, back to basics. Got the business name, the domain name set up. I've got some hosting through my business anyway, so set up some hosting. So there, straight away I had the business name and the web hosting and the domain name, bumbum.com.au, if you want to go and check it out. And then quickly set up a Instagram profile, a Facebook page, added some base content, and then went into Shopify. So to explain this, I don't know if you've heard of drop shipping or not, but it's where you can pretty much set up a Shopify store, link it through to AliExpress, which is a kind of sister company of Alibaba. So you've got direct access to a myriad of products in Alibaba, so made from Chinese manufacturers, and literally think of anything you could sell and it will be there. So you set up your Shopify store, you get a separate account with Oberlo, I think they're called, which connects your AliExpress and Shopify. And once you've done this, it's just simple. So you don't hold any inventory yourself. AliExpress does all the inventory and shipping. All you're doing is really setting up the front end of the shop. So it's just such an amazing setup. But so what you have to do though is obviously do the initial setup. But once you've got the products linked through to your Shopify store, it really is just up to you to market the business. And that's where I'm using my skills and testing out my digital skills and marketing skills to see if I can, reach the right audience, work out what I'm doing correctly. And my sort of target audience is sort of 16 to 24-year-old guys. Bum bags, my daughter keeps telling me they're probably going to be drug dealers. And a couple of the bum bags do have marijuana leaves as the pattern on there. So, hey, but that is a target market. Probably not the biggest target market in the world, but we'll see how we go. So just a little bit of an overview. Got the custom domain name, bumbum.com.au, set up the hosting side of it, set up the Shopify site, linked it through to AliExpress. So this sort of process, the whole sort of setup with the Shopify and AliExpress is kind of called drop shipping. So really you're just feeding in the products that you want to sell, adding your descriptions, adding your markup on the products, and selling them online. And Shopify, all the interactions, all the links through works so well. It's a fairly foolproof way. There's a few good online Actually, Shopify themselves have a good help center and resource center for drop shipping. So if you want to nip onto Shopify and search that up, search drop shipping on Spotify, you'll find some information on that. So just, yeah, a really funny social experiment, you know, being able to, and I mean, 20 years ago, there's no way you could have set up a business in 4 hours. It would take weeks and weeks and weeks. But it's at your fingertips, guys. So go ahead and do it. And the email as well. So I've got a bit of experience in setting up, integrating hosting into your Google business account. So I set up the email through Google. So I've got my custom domain within Google, and it's just amazing. You've got this whole mini business ready, active, up and running, going within 3 or 4 hours, like half a day. It's just absolutely amazing. And obviously over the last week or so, I've been doing a little bit of Facebook advertising, a bit of Instagram, setting up and obviously populating the different social media platforms. I set up a Pinterest account the other day. So now you can just start experimenting with the marketing. And this is what I find really exciting with it, is the opportunity to sort of test out markets. See, you know, I have sold one. I have to admit that was me buying it just to test out the whole process, but you know, I'm hopeful. But for me, this is a bit of an experiment in business, and I'm finding it really exciting. I'm just thinking about the next thing I could maybe sell. You know, meditation's a big growing business, so maybe meditation cushions or something like that. But honestly, have a look at AliExpress, have a look at some products. A few tips when you're on AliExpress: make sure they're a reputable wholesale company. Check their ratings out, make sure they've sold a lot of products, and make sure the shipping side of it is pretty crystal clear, so you know how much you're going to be charged for shipping. And most of the shipping's around about 20 to 30 days, so it's quite a long shipping. You can pay more, but I want to keep it super simple. I put my markup on the product, I offer free shipping, and yeah, we'll see how we go. So that's been very exciting this week. I've been sort of thinking about that every day. And hopefully this has been useful. If you haven't heard of drop shipping, go and have a look. If you haven't heard of Shopify, definitely go and have a look if you're ever thinking about selling products, because that platform is nuts. Most of our web builds are with WordPress for standard business sites and larger business sites. We will always use WordPress because it's such a great platform. But for e-commerce, we're really looking at Shopify very closely now, and starting to experiment and get on there. So, well, thank you guys for listening. I've been enjoying the park. Hopefully that all made sense. I did tend to be sort of going up and down on a lot of stuff there, but hopefully you got a little bit out of that. Go out and experiment. Bye for now.